Is it really possible to 10x your income? Watch this entire video to find out. You know, Brian and I wrote a book called 10x Your Income, and I want to talk about my experience with Brian. When I first met Brian, I found out that he makes 2 million baht per day. Okay, just to give you a clue. So he's one of the highest paid speakers in the world. Can you imagine getting paid 2 million baht per day? Pretty cool, right? When I was young and just starting to get a coach from Brian, I asked Brian, I said, you know, why is it you're earning 10 times more money than me? He turned to me and he looked at me, he said, Michael, let me tell you something. And what he said is that, Michael, if somebody is earning 10 times more income, are they working 10 times harder than you? Do you think I work 10 times harder than you? And I said, probably not. And he says, are they 10 times smarter than you? I said, I don't think so. He said, well, if somebody doesn't work 10 times harder than you and they're not 10 times smarter than you, then what is the secret to success? So let me share with you 3 secrets I learned from Brian Tracy that can make you 10 times more income. Secret number 1, you must unlock your full potential. You see, if you don't really believe that you can make 10 times more income, then hey, let's face it, you're not going to set that 10x goal, right? Because you don't believe it. It was Henry Ford who said, whether you believe you can or you believe you can't, either way, you're right. When I do seminars, I always ask my students, you know, how much potential do human beings have? And the audience always says the same thing, unlimited potential. But do most people's results reflect the full potential? Do you think we have the potential to 10x our income? Do most people's results reflect their full potential? Most people don't even come close to really achieving what they're capable of in life. And why is that? It's because they don't believe, number 1, that it's possible. And when we don't believe it, well, we don't go for it. We don't set the goal, which brings me to secret number 2. And secret number 2 is the 50% rule. Now, what is that exactly? Well, I first learned that from Brian Tracy. He was the first one to ever teach me the 50% rule. When I was in my 20s, Brian taught me that, hey, you don't need to be 100% confident when you write down your goals that you can achieve it. And what does that mean? It means you only need to be 50% confident. The confidence comes later. Everybody who starts the process of setting goals, they're not confident yet. And it's the same reason that a lot of people don't achieve their goals, because they're always looking for that 100% confident. And that's when they will not go for a goal unless they are 100% confident. But it just doesn't work that way. So as Brian Tracy said, you don't need 100%. You just need to be 50% confident. You need to be half confident, right, that you can do it. What will get you to your goal is not confidence, it's commitment. It's making that congruent, committed decision that you're willing to do whatever it takes to achieve it. When I first learned that, I never knew that. So that was a big shift in my life. From that moment on, every goal I wrote down, I only needed to be 50% confident. I didn't need to be 100%. As a result of practicing the 50% rule, I totally achieved more success in my life. I made more money. I achieved things I never thought was possible before, only because I was willing to take step forward that goal, even though I didn't know how I was going to do it. Does that make sense? Which brings us to secret number 3. Secret number 3 is the 10x branding. I once did an interview with Brian where Brian and I talk about branding, and in that interview we talk about personal branding. Like, how do you build a personal brand like Brian Tracy? Brian Tracy has a name that is famous all around the world. Like, when I traveled with Brian, I went to every country. Everybody knew who he was. So that's pretty amazing, right? So how do you create that 10x branding? And Brian says that if you have a really good brand, you can always charge more money than people who don't have a good brand. So branding is very important. Brian teaches this concept of your personal brand promise. And what is that exactly? Well, all it means that if I make a promise to you and I keep it, then how many times do I do that? What is my promise success rate? That's what we mean by personal branding, and that we call brand value. So the more often that your product, your service keeps the promise and delivers the promise to your customer and makes a happy customer, that increases your brand promise, your brand success rate. Once you have a successful brand success rate, the next step is to 10x your brand popularity. And with today and the social media and everything, that's very easy to do. You just bring your brand out there in the social media world and then let sure that everybody knows about it. Because you have a successful brand, it will be successful. Because you've made a high brand quality and now you focus 80% of your time on brand popularity. That's how you do it. You got to focus 80% of your time doing branding and videos and social media stuff. That's how you increase your brand popularity. And there's a whole system we teach on how to do that to our customers, but it works very well. So there you go. Those are 3 secrets on how to 10x your income. If you like this video, please share it, because when you're sharing this video, you're helping somebody else to increase their income to the next level. So share this video now.